does this program address, or what about this? So that would be good for the community to address, because it shouldn't just be us saying, oh, well, it does this. No, let's look at it as a group, because that's what it's about.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of categories, this is only going to allow 2 or 3 people per category. And the
Right.
20, the 20 maybe businesses that are here right now.
You know,
And
if
that's
it's close, if you get that representation, we don't want to limit it, but we also don't want 50 people there, or it's not effective and efficient.
That's also the reason the survey is part of it, and that's also the reason we'll have listening, updates at the board meetings, but as well as an evening like this with Q&A again, so that people who can't be involved in the process still have input through the survey and through these Q&As.
Yeah. So we will give regular. Absolutely.
Email us.
Go on the website, email one of us, or if you can't remember what our name is, or you can go on to your building principals and they'll get it to us. Yes.
Sorry.
Absolutely. You can ask.
If you would come up to the mic, because it's being recorded, that would be great.
Now I had to take notes, so this is probably going to be all over the map, because as it was going, I had multiple questions. Now, I could say I've done my research when I got the email, and this is a very controversial program across the United States, whether you agree or not. It is. I question the timing. I question how fast we're trying to roll it out. I would like to know why. I guess, what is the urgency to roll it out by February 9th?
I could, the first meeting?
No, I think
or looking at the curriculum.
Yeah.
Let me start with this way. So the reason we're starting to look at it is right now we said we currently use Second Step. I had a 3-year contract on it. It's up. So I'm like, rather than pay for and commit us to another 3 years of it, and just me saying, I think we'll do this for another 3 years, or counselors, do you think we should do this another 3 years? Let's see if this, if our community wants something different.
I would agree 100% that parenting has to do with academics, without a doubt. But this program, in my opinion, is my job as a parent. And I really wonder and question where this program is on parenting, on my views. I instill in my children, I have 3 in Tomahawk, how they need to behave and what their beliefs are and how they should act. And I do have concern, because I don't believe it's your job to parent my kids. Not at all. Is everybody perfect? I sure as heck no, I'm not. However, that's my job. And I have a problem when I think somebody else is going to parent my kids. My mother lives right next door to me, and I have told her that it is not her job to parent my kids. It's my job. So I do believe that. So I am very skeptical of the program. I guess I would like to know how our kids are going to be graded on this.
There's not grades. There's
no
not grades
grading
on it.
Well, then what's the sense of it? How do you measure it?
So on our report card, we have, scorecard, we measure ourselves as school and how we're meeting student needs. So at each building, they have goals. So at high school, they might have ACP goals. At Mrs. Peisig read some of your elementary goals. So, and those are all on the website as well, on how we measure the whole child and how we're doing at a school on meeting student needs. So it's more on how we're meeting kids' needs than saying you're a good person or a bad person. It's working about how to teach kids to work in groups and how do they communicate with others. And so, I mean, I understand your point totally, and I encourage you to be part of that process and look at these more and ask more questions as we go through this process, because you're asking very good questions.
And let me follow up. This is not replacing parenting in any way, but I want to show you.
If you read it, it seems like it.
Yeah, if you read some of the information out there about the topic of social emotional learning, social emotional learning isn't a program. There are programs that help us deliver, but when we talk the language we're talking, we're not talking code for some of what you're reading out there. I want you to see in 2019, when we had the community conversation, and everybody came and did a series of 3 activities over a couple nights. And they had an opportunity to participate in these activities and tell us what they liked about what's going on in Tomahawk right now, what they were worried about or concerned, and what they wanted from our school. So we don't just throw out strategic plan loosely. I want you to see that we recorded every single comment, and then we have made it transparent on our website, and the comments around social emotional learning matched. 20 comments were specific around the topics that will be addressed with explicitly teaching social and emotional learning. And I want you to see this document. So it's on our website. This is a culmination. This is every comment that came out of those evenings. And all of the ones in green are focused on the whole student. And you can go to these and read these. It is soft skills. Find a way to work with one another, be well-rounded, appreciate cultural diversity. Look at all, these came from our community, so we're not making this up. And the timing of it is that this was brought to us in 2019. And we're finally aligning to get around to revising to build a stronger program.
So I guess academics, in my mind, is key, and as well as people getting along and understanding others. I understand that. What would you say to the fact that this program is out in 1990 and it was not successful?
What
program?
program?
So,
It's a topic, not a program.
Yeah, it's not a,
oh,
yeah.
we could, program topic, whatever. It's still, we're rolling out a curriculum, which is a program. Curriculum is program, right?
It's aligned with the concept of social emotional.
I'm just saying, this exact layout started in 1990, and it didn't do well. I guess I don't know why we are going back to something that wasn't successful. I can't answer that. That's a question for you guys to give me, because I don't know.
So how many of you recall in your own schooling that you've had guidance programming? I remember in 5th grade learning about my space bubble. That was my guidance curriculum. And there were times when I went to guidance, or a guidance counselor came in and talked about, okay, personal space and advocacy and self-awareness, and then sometimes about careers. And so there has been academic and guidance programming for a long time. So that's all we're talking about. And I believe the community comments are talking about strengthening our students socially and emotionally to benefit learning.
The curriculum that you said is on site now, that's all laid out that we can review, right?
The current stuff?
Yes. What
We
we're
can
gonna
give
lay out
parent
here.
links, what we're currently using, and then the links are also live for the 3 that we're considering.
The other thing, I guess when we were talking about, and you brought up about bringing 20 people in, I guess how you kind of talked about how you were going to select those people. Those 20 people are going to decide if this is going forward or not. Is that pretty accurate?
They will advise administration on which one they'd like to select.
And who
And then we
select-
would,
and
and
who's-
then when we select that, then we would take it to the board for,
And who selects those 20?
there's the form to fill out.
Yep.
And depending upon how many we get, if we get a plethora of people, we'll have to sit down with Mr.
That's what I'm
Quisenberry and an
wondering.
admin team.
Who?
We're not gonna handpick, like, I talked to Wendell about it, we talked about, what if we get 40 people? And he's like, we might have to draw straws, we might have to say, like Teresa said, okay, you represent a parent group and a construction company, so we can cover 2 areas with one. So if we get a huge amount of people, then we will have to sit down as a team and figure out how we're gonna, admin team, and figure out how we're gonna address that.
My last comment, and I won't take up any more anybody's
It's okay.
time.
It's fine.
That's what we wanna answer
I
questions.
was very surprised with the amount of people that showed up, actually kind of disappointed because of the feedback that I got, hence why I'm here. I challenge everybody to bring up their concerns, whether you agree with mine or not. In my opinion, from what I've heard both positive and negatives. But I will say, I thought that there would be more people talking about their concerns. So I don't know who everybody's talking to.
But you know what, like we said, if anybody has a question or you have somebody come, encourage them
I
to
know.
email one of us or administration so that we have those questions so that we can answer them, because we want to be transparent about the process, and that's why, you know, we have this session to give people an opportunity to hear, and this is just a brief summary, so if you have something more in depth.
This is not something that I just read one day and
Right.
agree with or not,
Right.
but I am concerned about it because I believe it gets into my business. So that's my,
Thank you for coming up.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Yep, come on up.
I guess I'd really rather just stand.
Well, it is
It's being recorded, so we want to be
I'm
respectful
sorry.
for people that couldn't join, sorry.
I have the same views as this gentleman, and I know many others do, and we're not able to make it, or this was not very well advertised. I got an email, and my husband did not. Usually he gets everything, and I don't. So it's like, I don't know how this got out, but this is very important to the parents, and we need more information. And we need, yes, you talk about transparency. Well, the way the world is going today, we're told a lot, and shown everything else different. So the trust is gone for a lot.
We did try to get it out, so we did, but we were on the
I
radio.
understand, but
No.
it didn't.
No,
It didn't
we
get
had it
out.
on the radio, and I'm not sure if it was in the paper, but we had it on social media, and parents got emailed, so.
Okay, I got, like I said, it was an email that, I don't know who sent out the emails and everything, but my husband did not get it, and usually he gets everything, so I don't know what list you had chose from, but it
Same
wasn't everything.
Skylar.
I'm just saying what the fact is, it wasn't everything.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
so getting the information out and making it more available for parents that work a lot, yes, the forum needs to be open to all the parents. But, I mean, I guess I look at it as, I'm sending my kids to school for reading, writing, and arithmetic. I want them to learn that. The rest of it, again, like he had said, I'm their parent, and I will parent them, and I will guide them in the direction they want to go. We are faith-based. If I could get my children into a faith-based school, I would. I wish it was in here more. But I bring them to church, and I teach them the morals and the ethics, and that is important. Yes, social and emotional, yes, it is very important. And it needs to go not just in school, but also for the parenting at home. It's a big circle that we all have to work together.
We agree 100%.
Well, I guess
100%.
the proof is in the pudding, right?
so we encourage you, like you said, it will be up, the link is live already, so if anybody wants to watch the presentation that we did tonight, the link for the slideshow is live, the recorded version will be available, and if anybody has questions, please encourage them to contact us too as well.
Will do.
I'm going to just make a comment quick. School is more now than reading, writing, and arithmetic. Please spend one day in one of these classrooms and see what these teachers, counselors, principals have to deal with. It's no longer reading, writing, and arithmetic. What our healthcare providers have to deal with more is just colds, flus, broken bones. I understand what's going on, but our teachers are tasked more because moms have to work, dads are working, people are on swing shifts and aren't available. So unfortunately, our teachers are now, and our counselors more, are tasked more with social and emotional learning. Our teachers would not like to have to do this. I can tell you that. They would really not like to have to do this and focus just on reading, writing, and arithmetic. They don't have that option anymore. So I challenge each of you, because I would like to send my children to school and have them just learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. They don't have that option. So for all of you that are challenging in this, I would love to send my children to school and not have to worry about being kicked in the hallways or spit on, or have to worry about that their parents just went through a divorce and didn't have to worry, and they don't have to carry that emotional baggage to school, and tomorrow they're going to get dropped off at 6:30 in the morning and then have to make that transition to school. I would love for my children not to have to carry that baggage to school and their teachers not have to deal with that. That's not the reality of our world that we live in anymore.
Thank you.
While our next question is coming up, I just want to also add, this isn't just for problem behavior. The way that our employers have told us that students need to be able to communicate ideas, research and build an argument or a position based on facts. So have inquiry skills, use those facts to communicate clearly, work collaboratively with other partners and peers. That is needed in employability now these days. And that is how we've structured learning. We've structured learning in our all across our day. So when we talk about social emotional learning, it's also building those skills for success for our students in the learning environment and employability skills. So we're not just talking about problems, right? We're talking about that and that layer of building those soft skills that students take with them.
Leadership, collaboration, problem
Yeah,
solving, group
yeah,
work,
yeah.
sharing toys,
But it's all of the all, like
Lining
you're
up.
saying, it's a big job.
following orders. If somebody tells you to be at work at this time, you need to be at work at that time.
Okay, sorry.
And I understand where he's coming from, and I understand where she's coming from. I'm in that boat. When I grew up, both my parents were together. My mom didn't work. I could get on the bus, go to school, do my thing, come home, and know somebody's gonna be home with me. But that isn't the way nowadays. And a lot more babies are having babies. Yes, parenting takes place at home, but I think they need help also, and that's where this comes in. So I think it's very important. Coming from somebody that's going to take place in this, I'm thankful for the help and the ideas that come home for me to share in my home and help us out.
Thank you. And again, there will be access to those programs so people can see, what kind of things are we talking about in teaching kids.
I guess the only thing that I would ask for, and maybe I just am not following, it's been a long day today, is for some sort of a breakdown at some point to explain the difference between what you're doing now and what you're looking at. Because in a quick snap, it told me that you're already doing this. That's the way I heard it. Maybe I'm confused, but I think when you say, the 3 years is up with, what did you call that step?
Second step. We're
Second
currently
step?
using second. We are currently doing this.
I think it's important to be able to sort of delineate what's the difference between the two. What was in second step versus the options that we're looking at now? For me, that would obviously help to make that decision. So because I wasn't following, I thought it was like, well, we're already doing this. So I would like to know the difference.
Yeah. It's not new things we're doing. We're looking at a different curriculum program to help support things that we're already doing and do better.
Sure,
if we
right,
can.
but so the difference, the difference between what second step offered versus what these other, it's 3, right?
Yep.
I guess I would just like to know a little bit more depth to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to take notes. Thank you. Thank you.
Just to clarify her point, so we are currently enrolled in this, or we are doing what this,
We currently have a curriculum, which is called Second Step.
so why are we talking about this part of it?
Because it's just like if we get a history book from Houghton Mifflin, and then we want to switch to, what's another company?
Prentice Hall.
Predisol. It's like switching a textbook. We do this with all curriculums, but we know that people
So
have
did
more.
did we talk about it 2 years ago to start it?
No.
It wasn't and we didn't talk about my guidance program either when I was at.
That's why we're
Okay.
doing it, because
Yeah.
we're like, we want to be more transparent, because we know parents have questions, and the community has questions around this, so we want to be, if we're going to switch to something new, we want to make sure we have input on it.
Okay, I understand.
And and you bring up excellent points that are out there in conversation nationwide, I would love to have more parents on my math review team and my reading review team. It's so hard to get this done with teachers and they have a full schedule teaching. I would love to have more parent involvement across all our curriculum reviews, but because we know this is a community, for all the reasons we already said, that is why we're trying to be super transparent and make time for this particular topic and this review process. In 2019, the community conversation occurred between
And that
that
was when we
and
started
now.
that
And we
program.
know how important this is to our community, so we want them involved.
Go ahead.
I'm a foster parent in the community. I work with adults with disabilities. I work a lot with transition age youth. So I personally, I see a lot of success coming out of this. Again, as we're working through transition age youth, like really getting them ready to be independent. I think my question was around, I know you mentioned that it's not like graded, and I know right now there's, in elementary, is it called Tomahawk Hatchet Pride, I think is the score. So I'm just wondering, like, how is this going to continue to be analyzed as we like go through to see those different progresses among our students in this community?
So what we currently look at as our measurement in our scorecard is at the elementary, so in K through 8, we have what's called the best universal screener that teachers do, or sorry, it's only through 5th grade now. We do pre-K through 5th grade, and then we see how students are feeling about themselves and how teachers are interacting with them and needs they're seeing of students. So if we see and it gives us, is our school healthy, and it's 80-something% right now, and we'll have that data at that workshop. And then 5th through 12th grade is using SABRES assessment, where students do a self-screen and then teachers also screen. And parents, they participate in it, some parents opt out, but the majority of our kids do it. And then we also do, Mrs. Huseby had talked about the social norms before, which we did 2 years ago. And that gives us data from our students' behaviors, activities, feelings about themselves. And then the YRBS, we also, it's Youth Risk Behavior Survey every other year. That's through DPI. We participate in that, and we did that last year. So we have data to see, are kids feeling better about ourselves? Are they, are they having risk behaviors? Are they successful in the classroom? Are they internalizing behavior, externalizing behavior? So we have that data over time to see, are they getting worse? Are they getting better? And it looks at schools as a group, and how that health of that building or a certain grade level. We can watch a grade level as a trend. Like, ooh, when they were in 5th grade, this class had a lot of trouble, but now we see, no, they're doing pretty good now. So this is working, or they're going down. We need to do more for them.
Are you going to continue using those same assessments to keep like on the same evaluation with?
YRBS is through the state. We do that every 2 years,
Okay,
and
cool.
we currently, that is our assessment systems that we're using, and it's a survey through the SABRES through 6th through 12th grade, and then
Awesome.
the best through 4K through 5th.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Isn't that a lot of acronyms? SABRES, BEST, CASTLE.
I'm sorry.
I just
Yeah.
pulled them all
They always have to
out.
remind me. I also do special ed world, so it's all
Acronyms.
So I did say youth risk behavior.
You did. That was awesome.
Anything else? If not, like we said, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll answer your questions. We hope to see people fill out the form to become part of the process. Friends, neighbors, whoever you want to tell them it will be on the link to watch it, see what they've heard tonight, ask questions themselves, and reach out to us.
And if you want to ask a question, you don't want to be on the recording, stay.
You can wait afterwards after we shut it off. Yeah. All right, well, we appreciate everybody coming. Again, reach out to us with further questions, and we hope to see a lot of on our committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.